Hi everyone, welcome to, this is episode 20. Can you believe we've been doing this for 20 weeks? That's almost 6 months. That's a lot of time to be sitting indoors, isn't it? Listening to people talk about grassroots rugby, but that's what we do best. So, and actually we're running out of topics, aren't we? Because there's no rugby going on. There's only so many times we can talk about what's happening and what's not happening. So this week, slightly different. We're going to start profiling clubs. And tonight we're going to start with Haslemere RFC, based down in Surrey. So I'd like to introduce you to their first 15 captain, Danny, who also coaches the under-12s, and Matt Mason-Haynes, who is one of the managers of the second 15, although they haven't played at all this season, whatever. So we'll have a little chat about that as well. How are we, gentlemen?
All good, thanks.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for having us.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Nice Movember going on there.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's not quite the handlebars that it was last year, but it's something.
So, Dan, what's up with you as you're the first 15 captain? Tell us a little bit about Haslemere. Bit of history, past, present, future.
So yeah, we're currently in our 70th year as a club.
Wow.
Which is really fantastic for us as a club and a community. Communities at the heart.
Probably really annoying that you can't celebrate it as well.
Yeah, incredibly so. We managed to. We had a bit of a celebration in January to start off our 70th year. So 2 games going on at the club back to back, lots of fun, lots of people there as well. So kind of really a drastic change in where we're at now in terms of the game. So yeah, it's a weird time, but we are making the best of it.
And Matt, as we said at the top, you're the second 15 manager, but have yet to manage a game yet.
It's the easiest season so far. Yeah, so I was tasked at the beginning of, or the end of last season, by our head coach, Daddy, to give him a hand setting up the second 15. But as you say, we've not been able to play, we've not been able to do that. But numbers are great so far this season. So I'm when we eventually get to play rugby, I'm fully confident we will be able to get a second 15 out, which is amazing considering, I think, I've only been with Haslemere. The last season was my second season. It's similar for Danny. We were, as we were discussing beforehand, really struggling. And this is where platforms like yours come in. We were really struggling to get players. Getting one team out was hard work. But through the club's engagement with the community and all the hard work that they're doing, we are looking like we're going to be able to get a second team out next season and a first and second team out next season. So that's brilliant.
That's brilliant. So what type of engagement did the club do in order to get that sort of second team and the first 15 sort of being strong?
Danny, do you want to take that one?
I think we've been really lucky with one of our players having a massive push on social media in terms of player growth, which has been really exciting. There is a post out at least 3 times a week across our socials on our website, pushing for players. New players are joining us or wanting to join us all the time, to the point where we're having pre-lockdown, we were having 25, 30 people to training on a Tuesday and 20 plus on a Thursday. Which for a club in Surrey 4 is fantastic, and that has just gone on and gone on and gone on, and that's what's caused the kind of the second team to restart again, and it's going to be really exciting pushing forwards.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a really exciting time. For everyone that's watching, if you want to get involved and ask questions and put points to the guys, then please do. Please leave them in the comments. It's everybody's show, so let's use it as a bit of a tool or a guide, and we can all learn from each other, because that's how we're all going to survive in these times. So Matt, how has lockdown been for the club?
I think the club have done a really good job of managing and looking after everybody and keeping everybody engaged. I think all age levels are thriving. As I say, our adult, our senior section has just grown and grown and grown over lockdown. We have had the added advantage of universities not being around, so that's brought back a few people, and they've then in turn brought more people along with them. And it's been a really great, if odd, situation. I think that we can't have the clubhouses open, so we can't necessarily socialise afterwards. But we've made the best of it. We've made the most of it, and I think our head coach Dan has done a great job of keeping training really, really engaging and good fun. We're currently the setup is Tuesdays we play. Thursdays we do a ready for rugby training session, and Tuesdays we run a sort of a full 15. Not at the moment, obviously, because we're not allowed to. But before, as we came out of lockdown and before lockdown, that's what we were doing. And we had all sorts of things going on, didn't we? We had Zooms, chats, we had Zoom pubs going on. We did questionnaires. We did we had a tour of people's houses, and we were doing who lives in a house like that sort of thing. Just daft stuff. Eventually it all sort of faded away, and everybody sort of got into a routine. But we were trying all sorts of different things. But I say a lot of what we did was just trying to stay engaged and trying to keep the social media open so that people could just interact with the club in one way or another. And obviously Daddy and I have done a lot of work behind the scenes in setting up the well-being and mental health side of it for this season, ready for this season, which was a lot more prevalent than we probably ever imagined it would be, I guess. It's just been a really, really engaging and tough, but a really positive step. And I think it's going to be key to keep that engagement going when we're actually allowed to play back, when we're actually allowed back to play, because it's been great fun. And the team have really, really gelled this year.
That's good. On that, Danny, tell us a little bit more about the Zoom stuff and everything that was going on sort of the first lockdown. Has it trickled into lockdown 2 yet?
It hasn't quite made an appearance yet. I'm sure give it another week or so, we may try and bring it back to life. I think like everyone, it was a different way of connecting and socialising. So maybe at the start there was a bit of a novelty there with going proper hard on the Zoom chats, maybe twice a week, which was twice hard on the liver as well, I think.
Were you getting a bit like from my club? If anyone knows, I play for a club called Decker. We were getting the same 5 or 6 guys on the chat every week. Was that the same, or were you getting different people at different things?
Yeah, I think you could say we had a hardcore group that met fairly regularly, and then we had 1 or 2 guest appearances from various other players. A couple of old boys jumped on a few of our calls as well, which was an experience in itself. But as I said, it was just a brand new way of connecting and socialising that maybe we hadn't had the opportunity to do before. So you could see it as an opportunity to try something new and be inventive with the ways that you're going to connect and have that social aspect that we all crave, hence why we play rugby. So it was exciting, and I'm hoping it's going to make a reappearance any time soon.
Yeah, let's. I don't know if I want to start zooming again. We've actually got one planned. We're gonna do a Zoom watch along for the England games.
Nice.
Starting on Saturday. So whoever's got Amazon Prime, within our club can jump on the same Zoom call and watch it together and have a beer together and talk about it as if we were sitting next to each other in the clubhouse or in the pub. So, if that's, and I've written a quiz actually for the half time based on England Georgia, so it's only like a few questions. So, I think engaging people, especially this time round, do you think it's going to be slightly harder or even slightly easier because we've gone through it once before already?
I think it's if it was to make a reappearance, it would probably be easier. We've kind of got through the snagging part of it now. Most of us know how to work Zoom or House Party or whatever platform we're using. So yeah, I think it's going to be good for that connection to regrow. Obviously, the lockdown isn't great because we're not playing. However, it's going to be a good opportunity to recharge the batteries and maybe build that social connection again.
And Danny, how do you feel about being a captain of a club but that's not playing any rugby at the moment? Because it must be weird.
Yeah,
have you found it a good opportunity to recharge or just?
I think so. It's been a nice opportunity just to relax away from rugby, spend some time at home, and yeah, just look forward to it. It will return one day. When that is, we're yet to find out. But it's a nice opportunity just to relax, as I said.
When you get to my age, it's a nice opportunity to let your body recover a little bit as well.
Someone said to me the other day, like, don't you miss being in the scrum? I said, well, I might, but my head, my neck, my hips, my back, my knees are all thanking us for this sort of elongated break. Let's play this refined rules game where there's no scrummaging and no mauling, because I might feel better on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning.
It's definitely changed the shape of or the outlook of training, I guess, because everybody's having to be a lot, playing ready for rugby and games like that. It's there is that thought of it being very much a backs game, but it's changed our training slightly, and it's we're a lot more fitness focused than we are on the heavy duty and tactics so much. We're more about trying to get fit this season. So there's been a lot of work done by the coaches and the coaching team about ensuring that everybody stays fit. We've released some information for the lockdown for people to get on there and carry on doing things. Thanks, Robbie, for helping us put that together. So we've got lots of different bits and pieces that we're working on and trying to get everybody fit. And I think next season is going to be, if we do get to play, it's going to be a very different world when we play rugby. There'll be so many either super fit or super unfit because they've taken lockdown either way. I think we're going to have changed the shape of amateur rugby one way or the other, and there'll be teams that used to be brilliant and amazing and would win the league on fitness alone who may not have done that this year, and then there'll be a load of other teams that are storming through the fitness. It's going to be a very different world when we come out the other end.
Yeah. Matt, so one of the things you touched on a bit earlier was looking after mental health. So tell us about the initiatives that you've got going on down in Haslemere.
Oh, so it came sort of almost by accident, really, didn't it, Danny? We were having a chat, and I mentioned that I was a mental health first aider. Danny mentioned that he had done it, and we were like, well, do we think it's important as part of rugby to get some bits and pieces together? And so we sort of teamed up and spoke to the exec and spoke to the coaches and spoke to everybody and sort of went, how do you feel about us putting together just some little bits of information? We'll plot out a year's worth of information, get stuff done. But then obviously COVID was kind of creeping in at the time, but we weren't sure of its full impact. And then obviously it all got turned into lockdown, so everything got put on super fast forward so that we could get it all out. It's things that just sort of trying to get people to open up. We've had people talk about, we've done some Zoom recordings. We've got people opening up about their own stories. It's about finding support. It's about signposting. Danny and I aren't counsellors with mental health first aiders, so for us it's about helping people spot the signs and of poor mental health or somebody who may be experiencing poor mental health, and then pointing them in the right direction. So, but we've got loads of information on our website, and it's not just about mental health. It's about staying fit and healthy. It's about general well-being. It's about, in some cases, having a positive attitude or keeping your mind healthy. So yeah, there's lots of different elements to what we're doing, whether it be mental health, exercise during lockdown, just reaching out and saying hello to people, and as Danny alluded to, just trying to keep some sort of social aspect in play, just having a chat with people so that people don't feel isolated. I'm very lucky. I've got a family and I've got a large garden. There are people who aren't in that situation where they may be stuck in a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom flat in the middle of a city or middle of a town. So that's a very different lockdown's a very different experience for them. And I think it's understanding those sorts of things and those sorts of fears and feelings that people have, and expressing those over, and getting them to express those over lockdown. And I think rugby and the attitudes towards those sorts of things have changed immensely now. It used to be very much don't talk about your feelings, go play rugby, drink beer, go home, man up. Yeah, that wonderful phrase. Whereas now, I think we're not there yet. I don't think we're 100% there yet, and I don't think, but I think we're definitely in that realm of we can now sort of say, you know what, I'm not feeling great, and Danny does a lot of work on this. The mindset of players is equally as important as the physical abilities of players, because if you're not feeling right when you go out on a Saturday, no matter what level you're playing at, more so at elite, I guess, than the club rugby. But if you're not brain's not in it, you're not going to perform 100%. So you need to have that ability to have your mind engaged as well as your body being fit. And I know Danny does a lot of work on that sort of stuff in his day job, so he's probably got a better idea on that than I have.
Danny, do you want to talk us through mindset and mindset of an amateur rugby player, perhaps?
I think, kind of just echoing what Matt said, it doesn't matter for me what level you're playing at. If you're not in the right frame of mind when you step over that white line and you're letting things overcome you, you're going to start beating yourself up. So that doesn't matter whether you're playing Surrey 4 on the boggiest pitch in the world in the middle of December, or if you're playing at Twickenham for England. For me, that it doesn't change. If you haven't got that controlled aggression when you step over because something's gone on outside, which means you can't flip into that mindset, then you're going to get hurt. And then that becomes a physical issue, which we see. However, we don't see the 15, 20 minutes before that and that anxiety before stepping out onto the pitch. So for me, it doesn't matter where you're at. You can practice mindset techniques to strengthen that resilience, the confidence, and self-esteem before you step onto the pitch. And that's kind of where I kind of step into the fold with Matt on the more resilience building and that pre-game mindset stuff. So it is important for a grassroots player. You've got to go into it with that controlled aggression, as said, and that want to tackle, otherwise you're going to get hurt, and we've all got jobs to go to on the Monday morning, so we can't afford to take time off. So that's what it is for me.
So talk us through mindset techniques. Like, could you explain what one or two of them might look like or be like for?
So for me personally, before I step onto a pitch, and even daily life, I try and do 2 things a day. One of them is a 5-10 minute visualization. So how do I want my day to pan out? What's going to go well about today? So I'm already 3 steps ahead of myself on the end of the day. I'm like, right, this is going to go well. I'm going to do this, this, and this. And it's exactly the same before I step onto a pitch. I try and visualize what I'm going to do. And now some people might say that's sad and that's busy, but that's just how my brain works and how I get myself into that mindset to play rugby. And the second one for me, and I've sworn by this for the last 8 months, pretty much every single day, but I've been interested in it for the last 18 months or so, is meditation. It's overlooked in all areas of life, but it's starting to creep into places like the professional rugby scene now, and it's been big in football for a while. And that doesn't take a lot of time in your day either. It's 5-10 minutes out of your day, and there's some fantastic apps out there that you can use to kind of begin that process.
Okay, cool.
I think it's key that everybody understands that you need your own techniques. Yeah, Danny says he creates a list in that day and has objectives, but you got to leave baggy space in that list of the day so that if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't create extra anxieties. I like the quiet before a game of rugby. I like to sort of focus myself. I'm not into the big group huddles and the big squeeze and all that sort of stuff. Piling that aggression doesn't work for me. I like the silence myself, the quiet. I've got 80 minutes where the only thing I've got to try and do is keep my body functioning and stop that guy or that guy or that guy. Or in my case, as I now normally play, more like 10, 15 minutes. And then try and breathe afterwards. But that's it really for me. It's so I like the peace and quiet and the calmness that it brings to my mind, because it only has one thing to focus on for, like I say, however long I'm out there. But it's down to you to find tools and techniques that work for you. And and when we talk about meditation, I think we need to be very clear, Daddy, that we're not talking about sitting there cross-legged and all that sort of stuff. It's an inner focus, isn't it? It's there's a lots of stereotypes around mental health and meditation and mindset and all those sorts of things that we need to break down, because meditation isn't sitting there going and all that. It's about that inner focus and realizing what's going on in the moment and just trying to come to terms with your body as it is and your brain as it is right now, and then you can move on with the day. It's very key to break down these sort of stigma that's attached to mental health and well-being and the being woke and all those sorts of things that go on at the moment. We need to be very careful of that.
For me, before a game, it's the same quite heavy, loud, sort of emotional rock music, and then as soon as I step onto the pitch, it's dead quiet, and it's just to be honest, all I think about is the first catch, because if we make the first catch, then my head's already there, and if I don't make the catch, then I know that 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a shocker. So,
again, it's that mindset. It's that mindset of your own, isn't it?
As long as you get the first catch right,
you feel
the rest sort of falls back into place. So how have the club sort of taken to the systems and the initiatives that you're putting together?
Really well. Really well. It's taken its time, but I think that's because there's so much information, there's so much Danny and I want to do, but we've got to make sure we're not drowning people in the information. There's so much. I was going to
say, when you said it took time, was it because lockdown happened, there was a bombardment of let's get this, as you said earlier, fast forward, and now that sort of dropping of all the information has sort of calmed down a bit, people are sort of easing into it.
I think I was definitely guilty of trying to run before I could walk in this, in it. And I was like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. We can do this whilst everybody's off. And it's like, and thankfully they reined me in a little bit because I would have just gone nuts and I would have taken over their social media and all sorts of stuff. However, they've been really supportive. They're really behind it. Everything Danny and I do gets pushed. Everything Danny and I do gets, double checked before it goes out, to make sure it's right for the entire audience of the rugby club, not just the seniors. We're predominantly focused around senior rugby and the senior teams at the moment, but we do hope to expand it, and that's where Danny's knowledge will come in, because Danny's a youth mental health first aider as well as a coach. I'm the adult mental health first aider. So it's been really well received. People are really engaged with it, and I kind of just want it to be seen as part of rugby, as part of club rugby. It's your brain is as equally as important to the club as your body is. That's what I want to know, and they look after them in the same way. Tuesdays and Thursdays are not just about going out and getting your body fit. They're about keeping your mind healthy as well, and whether that is just the social side of it, whether it is just playing rugby, or whether there are other things we can do, I at training sessions or on other days that or just passing out information. Even that sort of, I think Danny will agree with me that when we sort of say to people, how are you? We've moved away from the, yeah, I'm all right conversations. People will now turn around and say, you know what, I've had a really bad day, or I've had a really good day, or this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. So we've moved away from the, yeah, it's fine conversations, and we're now into having proper conversations with each other about what's happened.
Yeah,
Danny,
I think if there's anything to come out of this, then do you want, call your mates, just give someone a call, because it might make their day.
Yeah,
might make people feel a million times better to get something off their chest. Sorry, Danny, I was just gonna.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Matt. I think a lot of our players come to training for that social aspect. The rugby side of things is just that added extra, really, where we can build those friendships, those relationships, both on and off the pitch. It benefits the team on a Saturday, but also the mental well-being of individuals. It is boosting that.
And we're trying to put it out.
Yeah, go on. No, go on, Matt.
I was going to say we're trying to get involved with the community as well. The most sort of recent piece we've done is it's about highlighting community resources as well, not just for those that need it, but rugby is a very wide-ranging sport. And there are people who won't need support over these periods of whatever, whether it be financial, whether it be mental support, whether it be whatever. So it's not just about offering support to our players, it's about getting our players involved in that support as well, if they have the time or the resources to be able to help out others who might need it. So that's the bit we're sort of working on as well, trying to get. We are called Haslemere Community Rugby Club, so that's what we're trying to build up again, and get involved more so with helping out and highlighting things that are available to everybody around Haslemere.
No, it's absolutely brilliant, and I think everything you're doing is absolutely brilliant and much needed, and long may it continue. So, what does the sort of the present and then the future look like for Haslemere on and off the pitch? Danny, on the pitch.
So I think at present, obviously, on the pitch is a bit of a difficult one for the next couple of weeks. However, I'm sure when we can get back to the training again, I'm sure we'll have the same level of uptake on both training nights as we did kind of pre this second lockdown. And yeah, just kind of, as Matt said, building on that fitness that we've been putting in as a forward pack. We're going to be one of the fittest, I think, about the amount that we've done. We've whined and moaned about the fitness, but it's going to benefit come game time.
I might miss that game next season.
And then
play the twos because I won't be fit.
And Matt, what does the future look like?
On the pitch, for me,
on the pitch,
it's getting the twos up and running. As soon as we can. We've got great support. We've got the old boys want to get back involved. We've got people who want occasional players who want to come in, and so we're working through how we engage those guys more often, and what we need to do to get them involved. So for me, it's but we don't want a first and second team. We want a one team ethos. We want 40 or 50 players who all want to play for that first team, who all want to get out there. And then, we want Dan to be able to pick the players he needs for a specific game, and then the rest come and enjoy social rugby. So for me, it's about making sure that, we can carry on playing fun, social rugby, keep the community engaged, keep lots of people involved in the club, keep it, and that the second team as such, it's not really the second team, that we are a support and a feeder for people who may be injured, maybe new to rugby, maybe coming back after a long layoff, as I did for about 10, 15 years ago when I started playing again. Want to get that sort of club friendly fun feel, in there, and we're doing really well at it. And I think people who wanted to come along around the area, we wanted to try it out when we're allowed to. are finding it a great experience. So for me, I just want to build on that and keep that going. And, I'm not going to say we're going to get a third team or a fourth team, but who knows? We used to. And then, as I said earlier on, for me, it's about making sure that rugby and club rugby in particular looks at mental health as an equal to physical health, or we don't even separate the two. We just talk health, whether it, that's the conversations we need to be having. Most clubs have got a physio, but or a lot of clubs have a physio, but how many people have got how many people have got a counsellor or mental health first aiders and those sorts of things? So they need to be in place, for me, and we're doing that now, and that's great.
Yeah, certainly. I really appreciate your time. I've loved hearing about the club. It's a club I've played against many times. I look forward to standing on the sidelines when Danny's fit pack are running around. I'll be sharing a beer with you, Matt. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And if anyone wants to get involved in Haslemere, please absolutely go and check out their social media channels, check out their website. And if anyone wants to be part of these club focus episodes that we're gonna start running, then email me at info@fybrugby.com. But finally, it's a question we started with that we ended with last week, so we're going to try it again, and we'll start with you, Danny. One hope and one fear for the grassroots game once we can get back.
My hope is that players want to get involved more, and that's not just current players, that's new players, that's old players, just coming down to their local club and giving it a go. If the last kind of 8-9 months has showed us anything, it shows how beneficial physical activity is and needs to be for people. So that's my big hope. My fear is if we don't get back to some sort of normality in the next year or so, I do fear for the grassroots game and clubs individually. But yeah, so that's where I stand on that, and that's as far as I'll go on it.
Well, let's hope. There's apparently a vaccine now, so hopefully we can start touching that wood. And Matt,
because of what I do and what we're talking about, my hopes are that there's an element of mental health training that creeps into coaching at all levels, at all ages. There's an element of that has to come in to pass your coaching exam or your coaching qualification, so that you can spot what's going on with people in your team. It's especially at the younger ages, because it's far easier to teach kids how to manage emotions and have appropriate emotional responses to things than it is to try and fix broken people as they get older and try and change habits that they formed over 30-40 years. So that's kind of my hope moving forward. My fear is probably like everybody's, and Danny's just said, it's hoping that clubs can survive this going through, whether it be financially, whether it be through the amount of players that they have, that when we come out of the other end of this and we are able to play again, that we are playing people. We are playing against each other, rather than having to travel an hour to meet up in the middle somewhere, so that there's at least a team out and about. Those sorts of things. So it's my fear is that we are not going to survive. But I guess I hope we do.
Perfect. It's almost a somber way to end, but yeah. it's a real thing that's going on at the moment, but hopefully at some point early next year or even next season we'll all be back together. But Danny, Matt, really appreciate your time. As I said, loved hearing about everything you're doing down there. Keep it up, and if there's any way we can help, then please just send me a message, and we'll pump anything out there. So thanks for watching. Thanks thanks to Rugby Store for supporting the show again. We're actually going to be running a competition to win a British Lions shirt in a week or so's time. So keep an one of the special boxes that all these bloody influencers have been getting. It's really cool. So keep an eye on all the social channels. I'm very jealous that I haven't got one, but I'll buy my own, Sam. Thank you all for watching. Check out the podcast that will be on Friday. This will be a YouTube video very shortly. Like, share, subscribe, send it to everybody that you know. Let's keep these conversations going each week. Danny, Matt, thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.
Cheers.